I became involved because I saw something in the Whitehorse News about it, and I thought it appeals to me because I think I've had an interesting life in the sense that I started with low expectations in terms of what I might achieve, but ultimately went on to achieve some things that for which there really wasn't any preparation, in the sense that I had no expectation that I would one day, having failed high school, become an archaeologist, for example. So I thought that in my life there were various lessons that might be learned, or things that I could tell people about what one can achieve in a lifetime. Well, I guess the central theme was that a person who, it's a story about a person who fails at secondary school, failed in my case year 10, but subsequently went to university and became an archaeologist. How do you do this? How do you start from a poor beginning but come back like Lazarus? Partly it was to do with, partly I did it by responding to their questions, because what I found in the first instance was that people were less interested in the process as to how I became an archaeologist, and more in what it was like being an archaeologist. So, and that was a surprise, because I thought the book was really one about what I'd done in order to get to that position, but people were clearly more interested in what sort of things did I do as an archaeologist. I think the diversity of the experiences that I've had, how those experiences have informed the sort of person I am today. I'm interested, I guess, I'm interested in the way in which people change through their lives and start off as in my case, a very shy, introverted country boy, and end up as a person who's written a number of books. There's nothing at any point in the process from one to the other that could say this is where you're going, but somehow or other you end up there. And I think, to me, the interesting thing is the process that you go through. And I think the central story that I would want to give people is you can take charge of your life. Okay, this is the time that we've had just recently. A couple of weeks ago it was my second time, so I think I'm certainly prepared to do for a third and further times, because I think the process itself of doing it, you learn something, and so you can structure your next appearance in a better way. Perhaps you might learn how to put things better or differently, and so these exercises, I think, are both useful for the person who's the reader, hopefully, but they're also interesting and useful for the book itself, because I learn firstly how better to put the things. I learn how to structure what is essentially a brief time talking about myself. I'm not averse to talking about myself, but I could always improve the way in which I present the information. But also, curiously, you learn something from the reader itself. And the readers often have very interesting stories as well.